the control out of Silicon Valley of the information we receive, the data that's collected, and increasingly the nature of the AI that's running things, concentrates that power in such a small area, in such a small number of hands. And if you want to have control by the few of the vast number, you have to centralize power. And that's what is happening in Silicon Valley on a scale that beggars belief.
Could that happen on a scale to affect elections, whether those be the US presidential elections or the referendum, the European referendum?
Well, anything's possible when you have algorithms that can filter out information that's not good for the agenda you have or the outcome you want, and emphasize information that does support the outcome that you want. And increasingly it's coming to light that this is what's happening. See, when the internet started, and which came out of an organization called DARPA, by the way, which is the technological development arm of the Pentagon, it was sold as the free flow of information. You could post all kinds of opinions. Now, if that didn't start like that, and right from the start is you can't say that, you can't do that, then it wouldn't have got this massive control and influence on the communications that go on between people. So you start with what people want, and then, especially more recently, and faster, you start doing, especially when you enter the realm of semi-monopoly, you start taking away the freedom of the free flow of information. So people now are having YouTube channels just deleted. No explanation, just deleted. On a big scale when they're challenging the official narrative. Facebook censor people. They have a thing called ghost banning, where you actually get to post it, but the AI makes sure it doesn't go anywhere. And when you have the power to do that, coming back to perception, you have the power to control the information that people receive and thus massively influence the perceptions that they have. And from their perceptions comes their behavior, comes what they will accept, what they won't accept, what they'll challenge, what they won't challenge. It's an extraordinary centralization of power. And you know, people are saying, I love Trump, I hate Trump, and oh, it's the right, it's the left, and this vaudeville show, which it is in so many ways, is so focusing people's attention on that. It's everywhere, isn't it? Trump's everything. And people are not looking what's happening in that area of real estate in California where all this is going on.
David, good to have you here.
Good.
What about, that's where we go next, Trump, America. You were in America last week, you're filming, you're updating your documentary Renegade, which is what you are. What about President Trump? Is he a renegade?
I think he's a renegade in the eyes of many people who voted for him. And you know, when I see what is called the progressive left attacking Trump and saying it's terrible what's happened, I say to them, look in the mirror. Because the reason that someone like Trump could come to power, the reason that these parties are coming to power in Europe, is because so many people have been left voiceless for so long.
UFO, do aliens exist?
100%. Look at the night sky. Look at the night sky. What? Are you having a laugh? Oh no. You know that compared with the perceived size of the universe, planet Earth is the equivalent of a billionth of a pinhead. Right? Yeah, that sounds good to me. We're on a billionth of a pinhead, and life as we know it only exists there. And elsewhere? Oh no, you're mad. Of course it exists. It's just a case of what is it, whether it's benevolent or malevolent, and it'll be a mixture of all of them. The idea that we're alone is, well, I mean, they call me mad. You know?
Is military and the government experimenting and researching aliens at Area 51?
Well, not just Area 51. In general, And what's happened in the last, 6, 7, 8 months is it's been appearing on things like the Tucker Carlson show on Fox. I think Tucker Carlson, I can't stand Fox, by the way. I can't stand CNN, I can't stand MSNBC or any of them. I can't stand the BBC. But as a journalist who's willing to ask questions the others aren't, and make points the others aren't, then they've got a lot of respect for Tucker Carlson. And he's had people on his show talking about the fact that and they've had to admit it, that the Pentagon has radar pictures taken by its pilots of craft that are doing things that no technology that we know in the human visual arena could possibly do. And of course, it's all classified and stuff. So there's two levels of knowledge, you see. This cult operates, if I just explain this, it might make a lot of sense to people, not least of current events. The world is manipulated by a web, and think of a web, a spider's web, and at the center of the web, you've got the spider. That spider is the non-human force. Around the spider, in the strands immediately around the spider, are the most exclusive secret societies, and people in them you probably never have heard of. They're the people really running this cult from the inner sanctum. As you come out from the spider in the web, you're now starting to hit the secret societies we do know about, but we don't know what goes on there. But they'd like us not to, like the Freemasons, and I'm talking the inner core, and the Knights of Malta, the Knights Templar, the inner core of the Jesuit order, all this stuff. And as you come out, eventually you meet what I call the cusp organizations, which sit between the hidden and the seen. These are the Council on Foreign Relations in America, the Trilateral Commission created by the Rockefellers and Zbigniew Brzezinski, Jimmy Carter's former national security advisor, and the Bilderberg Group, created in Europe at the Bilderberg Hotel. These are cusp organizations that sit between the hidden and the seen. And what happens is the agenda for the world comes out from the spider, through the hidden, through the cusp organizations, and into the society, the arena that we see, the public arena. And there we find governments, government agencies, the banking system, all the Silicon Valley corporations, and so on, media ownership. And in this level of the public arena, it seems to be a series of completely unconnected organizations, agencies, whatever. If you go deep enough into them, and it's all compartmentalized, most people in these organizations haven't got a clue that what they're being controlled and directed to and what the agenda is. They just get on with their lives, get their pay and go home to their families. But at the inner core of these organizations, they are actually answering to the spider ultimately, and are making decisions that reflect that agenda of the spider. And in this way, things are happening in a coordinated way that appear to be random.